Hi, this is Todd, Not 10 Yacht Sales. It is April 4th, 2025, and I figured I'd do a market update. Got a recent comment that I haven't done one in a while, and they're right. So let's talk, and I'll give you my insight as to what's going on in the market as it sits here today. So what's going on in the market? Well, again, these are my opinions, not the opinions of Not 10 Yacht Sales. I'm going to use an adage that I've used in the past with folks. Pretty simple. Accept reality for what it is and not what you want it to be. And if you're a seller of a boat, I don't care whether it's 2 years old or 20 years old, the reality is that the market has shifted towards a more normalized market, a good one, but one where think of it as a beauty pageant. I mean, you hate to think of it that way, but that's what it is. And you're a contestant. And if you're not going to get picked if you're fat and ugly, and I fit that bill, so unfortunately I'm not going to get picked. But you got to make sure your boat is clean, priced right, mechanically all there, and based on its condition, price, make and model, you got to make sure you're standing out above the competition. And how do you do that? Well, number one, get your boat clean, get your personal effects off of it, make sure mechanically it's ready to go for the season, bottom paint, zincs, oil changes, all that stuff that when a buyer comes to the table, there's nothing that's going to prevent them from pausing, because it's all about momentum. And you've got to have that boat where it goes from contract to sea trial, survey to closing as fluidly as possible. It's April 4th today, and the boat yards are all humming, trying to get these boats ready for spring. So get your boat ready for spring. The season's coming. So let's talk about the next hurdle we've got. This message is a little bit more geared towards sellers and not buyers. But as far as sellers are concerned, getting that offer and getting that contract is step number one. Think of us as getting on base in a baseball analogy. We're on first base. We got to get to second, third, and eventually to home. And how do you do that? One, I already mentioned that the boat be ready to sell, cosmetically clean and presentable, maintenance stuff done. But then you got to go to that survey process. And that survey process involves that surveyor, and in a lot of cases with like diesel powered boats or even the newer outboard powered stuff, them hiring a technician that's going to look at the mechanicals and making sure that those are all up to snuff. So if you got a boat that, like right now I'm on a diesel powered aft cabin motor yacht, that these diesel engines are rated at 3,300 RPM. That means this boat, a wide open throttle, should hit 3,300 RPM if there's nothing externally preventing it. Bottom growth, bad props, whatever. But if everything's clean on the bottom, this boat, without question, should do 3,300 RPM. And if it doesn't, that means mechanically there's something wrong. Now, it could be simple, could be major. But if it doesn't hit its numbers, they're not going to buy it, specifically with diesel power. If it's a gas boat, whether it be outboard or outboard or inboard, you've got a range of RPM, 44 to 5,000, whatever the number is. But with diesel, that's the number, that's the gospel. It's got to hit that number. So your boat should hit that number. If it's a diesel powered like this boat, when we talk about service, you got the basic oil changes, but you also have what we have kind of called 1,000-hour service, major service, whatever the case may be. People always hear the hour interval. They don't understand that that's also a time interval. In the case of these Cummins, it's every 5 years or 1,000 hours. Well, this boat's only got 1,000 hours in 20 years. That means you only did it once? No, you had to do it 4 times every 5 years. Once every 5 years. And that's an expensive proposition on diesel motors. It's about 10, 12 grand just for that basic service. So if it hasn't been done, you should get it done, because you're going to ask for it anyway. So get your boats ready. Now I'll switch to a buyer's perspective and what I would tell a prospective buyer. I've got a lot of folks out there that I've been talking with, and they're looking for unicorns. And what I mean by a unicorn is they're looking for that 15, 20-year-old boat that cosmetically is a rock star and mechanically is perfect and they don't have to do anything. Well, guess what? It's a unicorn. It doesn't exist. And you've got to figure out where you're willing to compromise. And what I mean by that is, are you going to compromise your standards from a cosmetic standpoint? Or are you going to compromise your standards as far as, might not have that 1,000-hour service or that major service that should have been done on it, and you're willing to accept the boat for that, understanding that once you buy it, you're going to have to do that. Well, you're going to also reap the rewards of having those major services done. So the key is to have managed expectations as to what you're looking for. And if you're trying to find a perfect boat, it doesn't exist. And you should probably look at a different activity. Maybe take up golf. I hear Ping and TaylorMade make perfect golf clubs. Every one of them comes out of the factory perfect. So boats aren't perfect. You're not going to find that perfect boat. So I think you should say, where am I willing to compromise, where you're not willing to compromise, and try and buy a boat that best fits that. And then sooner or later, the rubber hits the road. And if you want to go boating, you're going to have to buy something. And just realize the boat's going to have its picadillos, and you're going to have to address them one by one. So let's talk about the next hurdle. Got my clicker. We're going to talk about one more headwind, and then I'm going to be more optimistic. The other headwind we're having in the product segment from 18 to, say, 35 foot is stern drive powered stuff. Stern drive, inboard, outboards, IOs, whatever you want to call them. Those are increasingly becoming harder and harder to sell. If you have an outdrive powered boat, make sure your services are up to date. Boots, bellows, outdrive, lower unit oil, all that stuff, transom assemblies, all that, those maintenance things that outdrives have. Make sure they're all done and your boat is turnkey, because it's tough sledding if you have an IO boat. So make sure your boat is ready to go. So what are the positives? Why would anybody on God's green earth want to buy a boat? Because they're a hell of a lot of fun. That's why. And we're going to be selling fun over the next few weeks. So here at our Kent Narrows location, next weekend we have the Bay Bridge Boat Show, which has been relocated to our sister marina that's just here on Kent Narrows. It's called Safe Harbor Narrows Point North. We're at Safe Harbor Narrows Point South. We also have our Yacht Expo going on simultaneously in the 2 weeks after the Bay Bridge Boat Show. So it runs literally next weekend and the 2 following weekends for the entire month of April. And we have a lot of used boats here on in the water, where folks who are actively looking to purchase something who may not know specific makes, models, styles, they have an opportunity to jump on some used boats. We'll have about 60 boats in the water and probably another 20, 30 on land. And it gives people an opportunity to see what manufacturers are out there, to try and find a used boat that works for them and their family. Right now, Not 10 Yacht Sales, we have about 103, 104 boats under contract right now. And we're going to build on that number as the days and weeks progress, as the season gets heated up. So there's a lot of people out there buying boats. There are a lot of people that are interested in getting into this activity, which is amazing. It's the only thing I could think about doing if I have spare time and spare money. But the next 3 weeks are going to be exciting for us, and we'd like to get some more deals on that deal board. So if you're in the area of the Mid-Atlantic, I highly recommend coming out to the Yacht Expo, where you can see boats like this Carver motor yacht that I'm sitting on right now, as well as outboard powered center consoles, walk-arounds. We've got a ton of express boats, and all of them are here for people to hop on board and take a look. So again, boating is not going away. And I'm super excited for 2025 as the year gets ramped up. So look forward to seeing everybody. And as always, safe boating.